Hello, all. Once again, you are up front with Frank Rothstein on skyscrescentradio.com. That's SKYES, crescentradio.com. Located somewhere here, there, and everywhere. And sitting with me, as always, somewhere else in this big city of ours, is, of course, the woman pressing all the buttons on three different keypads. It is Jade Zabrick. For the first time since in a long time, we're doing something a little bit different, but not all that new, but a little bit different. You're also seeing me live on Facebook. And if you are watching me or listening to me, yeah, there you go. Look how happy Jade is. Yes, someone has a comment. I can't see it. Um, Jade's going to read Jade normally doesn't like to talk, but I'm giving her the authority, the power to, if there's a good comment, to read it on the air. Yes, it may be insulting, but I'm a big boy. Um, yeah, so what was I saying over here? Oh, I'm seeing Jade. She looks all happy. We're doing something a little bit different. I don't know what she's pointing to because I can't really see it. There's my picture. I see that. Okay, let me raise that up a little. There I am, but I have to kill some volume because otherwise you're going to hear me from all different directions. Unfortunately, Jade has a little more of a Star Trek thing going on in her house. I'm using my cell phone, this, and I see we have two people watching. So everybody on Facebook who is watching, understand that I cannot see your name. I can just see that there are two people looking at me. So if you say hello, show us your name, I'll say hello back. And if you have a question, feel free to ask it, and I will do my best to give you a semi-intelligent answer. Everybody, listen to the way I'm rambling. If you'd like to give it a try yourself, to babble like I do, please write into us at Skies Crescent Radio at gmail.com, SKYES, Crescent Radio at gmail.com. And someone will tell us your idea, what you'd like to do, and someone will get back to you in pretty short order. But if you're out here and you want to be a fan of mine, and I could use a couple of fans here and there, I think the only one who's really is my mom. I got my mom as my fan, and even she criticizes me. So I need someone who's going to love me like crazy and treat me like a radio Elvis. And I'll even wipe sweat and throw it at the screen for you. But my show station is Up Front with Frank Rothstein on Facebook. Feel free to go in there and give a like and give a comment and all that other stuff. And why am I taking so long doing all this? Because who the hell wants to talk about what's going on in the world right now? I'm watching these impeachment trials again in the Senate, and we're getting nowhere. All I've seen so far is three or four lawyers never ending with their talking. All they do is talk, and they're not saying anything. It's one big rambling scene. But that's what's going on. That's it. I noticed the streets were dead today because everyone's home watching television. That's what they're doing. That's just what they're doing. I was making a comment to someone who thought I was crazy when I said it, but when I tend to talk about what, well, we'll use Donald Trump, obviously. I tend to do it without emotion, which makes people crazy. Because I'm going to tell you what I think, and I always leave an out where I could be wrong, and I could be wrong. And I made the comment that this is going to be one of the most important presidencies ever. How could you say that? Look at this guy. Well, because it's not like he created world peace. It's not because he started World War III or IV. It's not because of a lot of things. It's simply because of look what's gone on since this guy took office. Look what's happened here. All I see is since he announced his candidacy in what 2000 or late 2015, was it? Early 2016? All we've seen is everything we hope to avoid had license to reappear. Supremacists, racists, any other ist you have, they had license and they're out. And unfortunately, the coronavirus came in during his watch. No president needs that. And for good or bad, there's a vaccine created while he's in office, so he's going to take credit for that. A president that was impeached twice and tried twice in Senate. That's incredible. That really is incredible. And I always go back to his thing of draining. Was it draining the swamp? Is that it? We're going to drain the swamp, clean it, whatever, something with the swamp. But the only people who went to jail or were fired were his people, his friends, his family, his people. That's the only swamp creatures we saw have troubles were people that came in and left with him. So this is very, if nothing else, a historic presidency, which should be at least taught in politics school is what not to do when running for office. And a friend of mine today reminded me of a scene. How am I doing on Facebook? Like I chased two people away by talking about politics. Um, there's a scene in the movie And Justice for All, if anyone's ever seen it. It stars Al Pacino. And he had a great run of films in the 70s. He had two Godfather movies, Dog Day Afternoon, and Justice for All. He's playing an attorney who's representing a judge in a case where he supposedly raped and beat a woman. And the movie itself is a very good movie. But there's a scene, if you Google this scene, and just remember, all you have to do is switch a few lines back and forth. And you're Googling And Justice for All opening statement scene. That's all it is, opening statement scene. We're pretty much, which I know lawyers won't ever do this, but I'm sure most of them wish they could do it, especially if they're defense attorneys. We're pretty much, he starts off with, the prosecutor would love to get him, but he's not going to get him because I'm going to get him. And it's pretty much what he did. He pretty much had a great opening argument. He probably could have won the case with just his opening argument, and then all of a sudden turned around and got his own client. I'm watching this over here. I don't know what lawyers are taking on this president's case, but good luck to them. But that is what's going on. Every then I was, and I'm pretty creative when I write. I come up with a good line or two here or there, and pretty much most people I know have said something in their life that I could quote. I've quoted a lot of people, but when thinking about this president and all his supporters, I go back. I was watching this movie the other night, Blazing Saddles, which probably could not get made or released today, even though people are going to say it's a racist movie. It's this. No, it's not. It's Mel Brooks, a Jewish writer, director, producer, made this movie, pretty much having fun and exposing at the expense of every form of racism, every form of hatred, every form of everything. And there's a line in the movie where the Sheriff Bart, who's played by the late Cleavon, I believe he's dead, Cleavon Little, who's Sheriff Bart, the first and only black sheriff of a town, thinking he's going to be accepted, which of course he's not. And he comes back to his office with his friend Jim, who's played by Gene Wilder, who sees that Bart is all upset, and he tries to cheer him up and says, and again, I'm just changing the scenario from a comedy Western to what's going on here when you see people storming the Capitol building. And there's Jim telling Sheriff Bart, you've got to remember, these are just simple farmers, the people of the land, the common clay of the New West. Or we'll say the United States for here. He says, morons. And pretty much that is what, these are the things I've just been equating everything with, because that's what I'm seeing over the last 4 or 5 years. And I mean, now that we're almost, well, I don't know if we're almost done with this guy, but wherever we're going. And I keep talking to people now who still can't believe I don't have any emotion. I don't need emotion over it. I can simply say what I have to say and not be angry about it. I try to get my message across even better. Used to make Jay crazy that I wasn't all angry. I'm not angry. I'm not angry at anyone. But I could see where things are going. And if you leave emotion out of it, you can see where things are going. I mean, if I'm not all that excited at a baseball game, I could see just where the foul ball is going, because I'm sitting there looking at the ball and not thinking, yeah, he hit it, look at that. And I don't see why I took my eyes off it. I see where it's going. I could see where this president was going when he first got in, which you'd never know why he was making his decisions. Was it for the benefit of him or the benefit of the country? And as it turns out, well, we'll just, I'll just guess that much of it was for him. Let's try it that way. I'll just guess at it. But right now, as we stand today, our new president, Joe Biden, is rapidly trying to undo what the last president did. Certainly, he's focusing on COVID. I say, given the size of an injection in any one needle, any one syringe, just send me a gallon bottle of the stuff, and I'll go around to all my friends, and we'll all get vaccinated at one time. Because it can't be that there's not enough product, there's not enough vaccine. Put on a second shift. Have them work all day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all hands on deck. This can't be that hard. Certainly other companies with other products bring on extra workers to do what they got to do because sometimes the job calls for it. I would imagine that a virus, a disease, something where people are dying would qualify as calling for it, paying a little bit of overtime so the job can get done. That's how I would see it. But okay. And I don't know, that's just how I see it. I try to keep a little sense of humor about stuff where I can, which is usual. Having a sense of humor keeps you sane, I assure you. Even in the worst things, having a sense of humor can keep you sane. Otherwise, you get too caught up in what's going on. What you looking at, Jade? What you looking at? Okay, let's see. And while I'm laughing at stuff, since everyone's so busy with their masks and everything else, now it's better. Now you may be better off wearing 2 masks. Why not wearing 12? How about just simply wearing a diaper around your head? That's nice and thick and absorbent. Everybody go buy a diaper and wrap it around your head. Because I really believe that to an extent, none of the doctors know what they're talking about. So when they're saying that, I'm hearing things that, well, wearing 2 masks may be better than wearing 1. Yeah, well, maybe wearing 3 may be better than wearing 2. So that's just how I can see it. But I'm looking at this story from NBC News, which says a New Jersey passenger was kicked off a flight en route to Super Bowl for wearing a specialty mask. Okay. A man bought a special S85 mask to help him feel safe as he flew for the first time since the start of the pandemic. But the United States said United Airlines. I'm now battling. United Airlines said the mask he bought was against company policy and removed him from the flight. Okay. Pretty much what he bought looked like a bowl. It was like a scuba mask. And you saw the hole with an air filtration system. Certainly, if he blew and whistled and sneezed in there, it wasn't going to get to you. But the airline claimed that their excuse was that in case of emergency, they could not help him or get him off. They used the mask as an excuse, the quality of the mask. So evidently, an $85 mask, an $85 mask was not as good as the $2 kind you find at the grocery store counter. And this man was asked to leave the plane. Not we have to take the helmet and give you a regular mask to wear. They just threw him off the plane. And this is when lack of perspective comes in handy. You get to do things because you're sitting there thinking blind. You're not paying attention. What time is it? We're going to play a song, I think. Yeah. Because what's going on here is, well, when this hearing is over, I'm pretty much done with it for a while. I'll have no need to think about it. The news will go back to being boring. All kinds of stuff. Look at me on Facebook. How's everyone on Facebook doing? How am I doing on Facebook? Are there any comments out there? Anyone looking? I can't tell who's looking. There's two comments? I can't. It's two people that I could see. Again, everybody who's watching on Facebook, this app does not provide us access to the names of people. All I see next to the word live, telling me that I'm talking to you, is something that looks like the old CBS I with number 2 on it. So I know there are two people. I just don't know who the two people are. So please say hello, give a comment. If you disagree with every last thing I say or everything I say or somewhere in the middle, let me know. I don't bite. I'd like to sometimes, but I don't bite, really. Me, I just, we're here for the love of it all. Trust me, we're not making a fortune on this. We're here for the love of doing it, of getting voice out there and seeing what's going on. Speaking of love, the first song we're playing, I haven't really listened to this band in a while, so I rediscovered them. This is from the 2003 album Unclassified. Robert Randolph and the Family Band, I Need More Love. There you go. So that was Robert Randolph and the Family Band. If When we finally get back to going to see live shows, when they come to town, definitely go see them. It's a good act. So we're sitting here playing and practicing with buttons and what we can do here, because this is actually like a suddenly, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah. And that's what we're doing. We're doing it on Facebook. And pretty much what happened was we were thinking, how can we improve what I'm doing on this show? How can this work? Because I like to do live. I could record it, but I like live. And if a garbage truck passes by while I'm talking to somebody, I'll make use of it. I make use of everybody. You know, you've heard me say it before. The world is my prop. I can go anywhere and use anything. That's what happens with live. But now we're doing this, and like much like teaching the rules of the game, you sort of got to explain it in advance. We're doing this, and when we play the song, good thing I didn't say the wrong thing, because do the wrong thing, because once the music plays, that's what you're hearing in audio. But the camera's still on me, you can still hear me, and this is what's going on. This is like a balancing act we're trying over here. And that's just what we're doing. I used to broadcast on the app Live Me, but that was I'm sitting rubbing my eye for Facebook to see. That was in a more structured thing of sitting in our old studio and me pointing a cell phone at myself. But I had headphones on, and it was a little more uh, I won't say organized, but I like the word structured. I knew what I had to do. Now I'm sitting here in my house. I'm looking at Jade with a background behind us saying Skies Crescent Radio. And because we're still trying to get used to all this, we're overlooking a couple of things as we go on. Next week will be better, I promise you. What's going on this week still? Oh, by the way, the state of Georgia is starting an investigation into Donald Trump because of that phone call he made asking to find 11,000, almost 12,000 votes. Somehow he called up and asked, was it the governor or the attorney general? He wanted 12,000 votes found. Well, the only thing you can do with that is like dig up the recently deceased. They still have fingerprints. Put them onto a button and whatever, and let them. I don't know. I don't know where you find 11,000 votes. You can find 5, but I don't know you can find 11,000. Anyway, let's get out of politics for a couple of seconds. This story here, who thinks of this crap? This was from February 3rd. I'm on NBC News website. Very good site, by the way. And it says Wisconsin teachers suspended after asking students how they would punish slaves. This is the Sun. It says in the headline, the Sun Prairie Area School District said it will be reviewing its social studies curriculum with the lens of racial trauma and curriculum violence. Okay. And the story is a group of suburban Madison, Wisconsin middle school teachers are on leave after giving students an assignment that asked them how they would punish slaves. 1 second, got rid of a video. Now, I wouldn't even, now they're all regretting it, they're all apologizing for it. How would you think a middle school, how would you think middle school is what, 12? How could you even think this is the right way of teaching a kid anything? Who thinks of this stuff? Does that mean they have to look up in Google and practice, and so they know what's effective, practice torture techniques? Is that what they're saying? What is the plan here? How would you torture? How would I torture slave? Ridiculous. Anyway, so that's what's going on in Madison, Wisconsin. Well, schools have faced serious backlash over the years for similar assignments on slavery. A Missouri elementary school teacher was placed on leave in 2019 for asking students to set a price on slaves. Elementary school. So let's get a 6th grader to figure out the value of a human life. And this is what's teaching people. You believe me, don't blame the kids. There are no such thing. Bad students, not really. Bad teachers, that's what we got. people in the wrong line of work, in a position of authority. And that's what teachers are, positions of authority. And kids listen to this. Some of the kids do, I'm sure, but for the most part, no, not really. They're telling their parents when they need help with homework how to do this. And that's where the teachers get caught. Ma, how do I teach? How do I figure out how much a slave is worth? How do I, yeah, in like a math problem? It doesn't work. It's dumb. It's cruel. It's a bad thing to teach. And every teacher should not be placed on assignment, should not be suspended. They should be fired at the moment the complaint is made. The second the school board hears about it, every teacher involved should be fired on the spot. On the spot. And it's not just because they're talking about slaves and because they're black. We can talk about Jews. I'm a Jew. How could we make life worse? How can we torture the people in concentration camps? How can we torture the people in other countries? How can we do? It's dumb, and people are stupid. Yes, teachers can be stupid. It's possible. I use this as a general thought. People are stupid, and I read these stories, one dumb story or another, all the time. And watch out for it. I like the George Carlin thought of beware of the stupidity, or be careful of the stupidity of people in large groups, because that's what they are. Dumb. Next up, let's lighten the mood and play another song. How's that? So I'm on YouTube. Someone else reposted it, and I went to YouTube. And this is an instrumental by a brilliant guitarist. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He goes by the name of Nardo, and and this was recorded in 2019. But what's the difference? He's sitting outside of a bar, restaurant, cafe, and he's strumming away on his guitar, not using a pick because he keeps his nails on his right hand very long. And this is Nardo playing Jambalaya. There you go. That was Nato. Nato. I'm hoping I'm practicing it. I'm saying it right. But either way, listen to that style. It does have the way of sounding like there's three instruments playing as smooth as he is. Because you can hear the bass part of it, you can hear his high pitch, his higher notes, and at times you can hear what would be like, I guess, rhythm, like a mid-level sound to keep it organized. But he's sounding really good, and he does have a whole YouTube page. Just Google or YouTube search NAUDO, and you'll see all the songs he plays. We're still going on around here talking about this, that, and the other thing. What else is going on? If you're traveling by cruises and if you like taking vacations on cruise ships down the road, two cruise lines have announced COVID vaccination mandates for guests and crew. I don't blame them. Even though you're on the ocean, you're in a confined space. Even if everybody stands on deck at one time, you're in a confined space. And the cruise lines want to make sure that people are as healthy and as safe as possible. And of course, their ass does not get sued. And I think, but I like the idea. You want to come onto my ship, show me that you have let us know that you have a vaccine. If you're looking at the Navy, wow, let me get back to my page for a second. 1 second. I'm on my Facebook page, my personal page. The United States Navy has, let me get to it. I want to get this right. 1 second, 1 second, which of course is a while for me to scroll down to. Okay, here it is. The United States Navy has set sail the USS New York, built from 21 tons of steel from the fallen World Trade Center towers. You can see two stacks on top, two towers on top. Says one of the most state-of-the-art amphibious warships in the Navy fleet. It's manned by 360 sailors and 3 permanently assigned Marines. Her motto is strength forged through sacrifice. Never forget. This is really a very nice looking ship. It doesn't have I mean, it's clearly a naval ship, but it has a good look. It has a good look. You can see this one coming down the ocean at you. You can see it. It's there. Well, hope she sails well. Oh my, look what's going on today. Oh, what's this? Here's one guy. Well, here's a guy doing something good. His name is Yu Ma. He's a software engineer, built his own vaccine appointment site. And the headline is from the New York Times, New York's vaccine websites weren't working, so he built a new one for $50. And that's just what he did. And this is, I went to the site. This is called TurboVax. And I went to the site. It looks pretty simple and very organized. And I sort of got a kick out of it that he did it himself. Certainly, I've seen the New York State sites. I've seen these things. They're a disaster. They really are. Certainly, the city hasn't got a good site for anything. So I just took a look. Well, I know as of Tuesday, was it Tuesday or 16th, whatever, if you are, is it this Tuesday? No, next Tuesday. Well, whatever. As of the 16th, whatever. I have to look up the exact date. If you are 16 or older with underlying conditions, you will become eligible for a vaccination. I think they want you to have 2 conditions or more. I'm not quite. You know. So I'm a diabetic. Maybe I can also list insane. Hey, insanity. What can I say? What can I say? But that's what I was thinking. How's it going over on Facebook? I see one person's watching. I think that's me. That's me watching. No one, I'm watching. That's me. Hi. Hi. Maybe I'll make funny faces at myself, sing myself a song. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I sang a song once, my shadow ran away. I wouldn't do that. Tell us what you think. Write to me if you like what we're doing. Please write to me, upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Upfrontfrank@gmail.com. Jade has me on 2 different platforms. She may like you better and put you on 3 different. Actually, we're on 3. She may like you better and put you on 4 different platforms. So write to skiescrescentradio@gmail.com. Give this a try. If I can do it, you can do it. So here's again, as a reminder of how we're actually doing this. We broadcast through a podcast service called Spreaker, Spreaker. That's the basic way that we broadcast. From there, Jade puts us over on Spotify and iHeart, and we're on YouTube. That's your own deal. You're on YouTube. We're now on Facebook. Um, what are the other ones you put us on? Are we on Tumblr, Tinder? Where the hell are we now? We have a Tumblr, Instagram. Well, there's a website for Instagram. We're not broadcasting Instagram. Although we could. Yeah, so that's how it works. Pretty much, we start off with one place as a base of operation, and from there, we just like like a spray. We just go into the internet, wave, and go all over the place. And where the mist falls, so shall I. It is 5:38. I'm telling myself the time. Why not? Um, what else is going on? Oh, yeah, this one's pretty sad. In New York City, the Roosevelt Hotel, it's closed. I don't know if anyone knew it. This story is actually from October 13th, but this I don't know if anyone really kept an eye out. It's not widely known, but yeah, the old Roosevelt Hotel, after 96 years, closed down. I do a lot of business in downtown Manhattan in the Soho area. The Soho Grand Hotel is closing down, from what I understand, as are a lot of other places. Um, it's pretty getting pretty iffy out there, to put it mildly. It's getting pretty iffy because people really they're having a harder time surviving. And I was having again, I have these conversations with people where I normally place myself in, how did one person put it, as the devil's advocate, or another one said contrarian, which is not really the case. When what I find is a lot of people, and there's an idea to be had of something, they're going rah, 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 picturing only the best thing. And we're going to get the help. We're going to get this. We're going to get that. And they're saying, yeah, but you need another plan. Because what if this, and this happens? Which I like the idea of being prepared in case something. I don't like lag time. I like the idea of having another plan in effect, or another plan waiting to be put into effect without having to think of it first. And there's a lot of organizations now in the New York area for pretty much saving. SOS is what they're using. Everyone has like an SOS, save our this, save our that, but we're all saving. I was talking to a friend in one of the stores, and they want the state to pick up the ticket, which sounds nice, but can the state do it? I don't know. The reason I say is there's a lot of businesses out there in trouble, and I'm hearing, but yeah, what we need help, and I said, I'll tell you what, you're going to get help tomorrow. All your debt is wiped out. You have a zero balance. You are fine. You are free and clear. The state will even give you $100,000 into your account, but there's no people. There's nothing. There's no tourists. There's no one. So what's your plan for 3 months from now, as you start to exhaust the 100,000 and you're starting to acquire debt again? So you need a plan of sorts. You need a plan. And I kept telling all the store owners that I know, I did retail for 13 years. I fully understand what it is. You own a retail shop of any kind, it's like having a baby. You have to take care of it. You can't leave it alone. You have to burp it. You have to feed it. You have to clean up after it. It's pretty much a perennial, never-ending infant, and you help it grow as best you can. But it stays in that baby stage. We have to keep on, doing it. So I fully understand the problems of retail, but you need to have a plan. Even if the best scenario is that you get help, now what? How am I going to do it? Now what? Which is why when you see a lot of musicians, and a lot of them are late to the game. A lot of them have gone to the internet to broadcast their art, their music. Um, I see a lot of musicians going to YouTube, because when you go live on YouTube, you have that little area where the comments appear, and you can also send. They call it a tip jar, a donation cup, call it what you want, but pretty much there's a place on YouTube where you can send people money. But you need a plan. Everyone needs a plan. Um, or try to have a plan. Try to do something. One of my favorite local things, a woman named Jill Fiore in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. She had COVID like everyone else. She had her case. She stayed home for 2 weeks, was going crazy, but she was also in quarantine like everybody else. Nobody was going out. So nobody even, she wasn't all that sick, but she was a little sick, but nobody would have known it. But now one day she wants air, just needs some fresh air. So she went out on her fire escape on the second floor of her building. And I guess she was playing her guitar and someone noticed, and she had the idea, let's turn the fire escape into a stage. And she got hold of a friend who plays bass, another friend who plays, I think they put in a drum, a rhythm, or maybe a rhythm guitar. I don't know, there's three of them. And this became the Fiore escape. The Fiore escape. Next thing you know is this, after a while, there's press. She made it all over the news, all over local papers, onto Spectrum News. She was everywhere, and she's still everywhere. And people were gathering in the streets. I don't know how she made money doing it, but she got noticed, and I'm pretty sure there's an income somewhere. I said somebody's watching. Another friend, someone that Jade and I know, Natalie Gelman. She was practicing her music on the internet between the app of LiveMe, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere else she could squeeze a note or two in. The woman was working about 4 to 5 hours a day. That's longer than most concerts you get if you go to Madison Square Garden and buy a ticket. That's a lot of time, Penny Tuna. That's a lot of time every day. Next thing is she got a good interview. She was releasing music anyway. Next thing is she has a record label. She signed a contract. She got noticed. So there are ways of doing it, as long as you come up with a reasonable plan. So that's just what I think. Back to the storefronts, they're trying. I know they're all trying, and for the people I know who own retail shops, I've given them some ideas that have come in handy along the way. But for the most part, you got to sort of, depending on the type of business you own, you sort of have to keep tweaking the plan, so to say. So, that's what I'm thinking. Let's play another song while we're at it. And I'll stop rambling for a few seconds so I can take a drink of water. This song I played about a year ago. I just liked it, so I'm going to play it again. It's another instrumental. I found this on, if you go onto YouTube, Bopflix. This is the Boot Heel Playboys with Road to Gajan. That was the Boot Heel Playboys. I enjoyed that group. This is actually my favorite of all their songs. I felt like playing it again. Um, well, we have a couple of other stories before I get to the dumbest stories of the week, but this one here, I have mentioned this over the last 4 years. Keep track of your kids on the internet. Everyone, keep track of children, what they're doing on the internet. They're too impressionable. They're not, they don't, they, I'm, oh, I won't even bother describing. Here's the headline. Dr. Laura Berman's son, Samuel, dead at 16 from drug overdose. It says here, Dr. Laura, okay, drug overdose. The shattered relationship therapist revealed her heartbreaking news on Instagram, saying Samuel overdosed on a fentanyl-laced Xanax. Beautiful boy is gone. Okay, where did he get this from? He got it off of Snapchat. He got it off of Snapchat. A drug dealer connected with him on Snapchat and gave him fentanyl laced Xanax, and he overdosed in his room. She wrote alongside the photo of her son. Her heart's completely shattered. I don't know how to, okay, I'm not sure how to keep breathing. All right. The Language of Love podcast host shared her tragedy so that not one more kid dies. Experimentation has gone bad. He got the drugs delivered to his house. Please watch your kids and watch Snapchat. All right. Um, I don't, it doesn't, the story doesn't go into exactly if this kid had an ongoing drug problem or if he went onto Snapchat, onto the internet, someone started talking to him, gave out the address, they shipped him this stuff, and he took it. Now, it's not that a kid doesn't know how to use a needle because, well, I mean, we all go to doctors anyway and get injections, or you can see it 1,000 times by the time you pick up your needle. So this kid, a 16-year-old, and that's not like a baby, like a 10-year-old got on there. This is a kid 16 who knows how to work the thing, work the app, got on some drug dealer, like I said, and sent it to him. And I keep telling this to parent. I keep saying this. Watch your kid on the internet. You don't have to be liked. You have to be careful because this kid died because because I wouldn't even know why. I wouldn't even know where to assign it, where to say it. Parents weren't watching. The kid did what he wanted, did the wrong thing, and died. And I don't know that the person who sold it to him is going to be held accountable. I just don't know. It doesn't go that far into it. But that is tragedy at its best. No one watching the kids. What else is going on here? Let's see. Let's see. Let's get away from the misery for a few minutes. Huh? Let's get away from all that. One of my favorite stories, because I got to leave the. Oh, this is too good. Let's just shift gears radically. A woman wants to sue wants to sue Gorilla Glue because she she ran out of hairspray. Pretty much, she ran out of hairspray, and she bought this spray-on aerosol Gorilla Glue, and she sprayed her head with pretty much liquid cement. Now her hair is matted down. She tried using acetone, like nail polish remover, but they tried using that in the hospital, and that all it did was burn her head. And there's a surgeon offering to help remove the Gorilla Glue from her hair, and that's going to cost about 12,000 and change. And she wants to sue. I'm not quite sure what she's suing people for putting glue in her own hair. Here's a better idea. Don't make this mistake ever again. Don't give a doctor $12,000. And as much as I know you're not going to want to hear it, shave your head. That's it. Just shave it off, because it's going to be the easiest thing to do. Your hair will grow back. I doubt you glued your hair follicle shut. She's, oh wow, I didn't get to laugh at a story all week. That is what she did. She glued her hair, she glued her head, and wants to sue for it. Oh, people are dumb. I gotta love people. They give me all my material. All my material. Where does it say if she's in Florida or Australia? Her name is Tessica Brown. She hired an attorney and is weighing litigation against Gorilla Glue because while the product's label warns against using on eyes, skin, or clothing, it does not mention hair. Oh, please. Next time you want to spray glue into your hair, just take a little strand and spray that and see what happens. Gotta love people. They're too stupid. Gotta love it. And if you really want to be a sucker, if you really want to give away your money, before we play out with the last song or two, Donald Trump's book, Art of the Comeback. Oh, I got me kill that volume. Oh, shut up. Donald Trump's book, Art of the Comeback, is surging in value. So much so that I found it for just about, oh, what did I say I got it for? Let me see. $999.99. Yep, that's how high I found it for. You can find it on Amazon. People are going to pay $1,000 for this book. You can find it for 800, a bargain price, I might add. But that is what's going on. People are, oh, do I hate people? People are dumb. Let's see. I'm telling you, Jade, you going to buy the book? No, you and your friends are, and you take up a pot and share the book around? Okay. Well, Jade's not. I'm not buying it either. I'm not buying it. It's not a good story. It's not like a good fairy tale, unfortunately. It's it's pretty much, I guess it's autobiographical. Look at this guy. Biographical. Look at this guy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess that's it. It's 5:57. A woman glued her hair to her head. Oh man. You ever know anybody who did that, Jade? Any of your friends that dumb? She can't even talk. She's not talking. She's sitting there yawning on me with this stuff. She's yawning at me. We're gonna get Jade talking. I'm gonna have to say something wrong, unless she'll perceive as wrong. She'll get in here and get in there. We'll headbutt each other like rams. That's good. That's good. All right. I'm gonna leave out. Yeah, we're skipping one of the songs on my list because I kept rambling about all this crap going on in the world. Everybody on Facebook who is paying attention and watching us and giving us their time, thank you. Everybody on Spreaker who listens to me, thank you. Please bear with us as we try new things. I do work live and I do make a good crash test dummy, and Jade knows that, which is why she tries things out on me because I'm willing to give it a shot. So we're doing this week. And yes, if I'm on her website and I'm on Spreaker and I'm on Facebook, I'm pretty much trying to keep three audiences at once happy, which is not all the same type of audience. I may try using my social media app as a fourth audience to see who listens, because why not? Why not babble and trip over my own tongue for everybody to see and hear? I'm going to leave you with, well, we'll go to church a little bit. Why not? Why not? I'm a big fan of Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She was, well, I guess you can make the case for her being what's it, the mother, the founder of rock and roll, or something like that. She certainly, with the way she played her guitar, plenty of trying to copy her. But I'm going to leave everybody. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody with Sister Rosetta Tharpe and the song Rock Me. Have a good night, gang.
Now, won't you hear me singing? Hear the words that I'm saying. Wash my soul with water from all